What's going on, Sports Wars? This is Ryan with the RK Outpost and GeeksGamers.com, and Jon Gruden is officially out as the Raiders head coach. We did a short video about it essentially right when it happened. 5 minutes after the reports happened, before any of the details were really released, we put out a video based on this Tom Pelissero tweet. Sources: Jon Gruden just informed his staff that he plans to resign as the Raiders head coach. We got a little more information now, and we're going to go over a lot of it. Jon Gruden's resignation comes 3 days after the Wall Street Journal report about his email about DeMaurice Smith, and hours after the New York Times reported other emails, including derogatory and offensive language, among other things. A swift and stunning fall. And it was swift indeed, and we're going to go through what got Jon Gruden fired. We're going to go over the emails and the remarks that got him fired as reported by the New York Times. Now, when we go through these things, one thing I want everyone to keep in mind is that these are basically like text messages between you and your friend, right? Jon Gruden is sitting there. He's not an employee of the NFL. He's actually working for ESPN at the time, ironically. What if ESPN's going to come and put out a statement about how embarrassed they are that they employed him during this time frame? And I want you to think about all of your conversations with your friends. If you say anything that might be considered crude or anything like that, let's look. Raiders head coach emails included homophobic and misogynistic comments. A trove of emails in a separate workplace misconduct case shows Raiders coach Jon Gruden went beyond previously disclosed racist comments to include broad tirades. When the vaunted NFL coach Jon Gruden was confronted by a racist email, quote unquote racist, he literally made fun of a guy because of how big his lips are. He said he doesn't have a blade of racism in him. But league officials, as part of a separate workplace conduct investigation, now know the coach of the Vegas Raiders casually and frequently unleashed misogynistic and homophobic language, oh heaven forbid, over several years to denigrate people around the game and to mock some of the league's momentous changes. He denounced the emergence of women as referees, the drafting of a gay player, and the tolerance of players protesting during the playing of the national anthem. Gruden's messages were sent to Bruce Allen, the former president of the Washington football team, and others while he was working for ESPN as a color analyst, the sports network's weekly primetime telecast of NFL games. In the emails, Gruden called the league's commissioner, Roger Goodell, a F-word. We're going to say F-word because we can't say that here on YouTube. But he called Roger Goodell the F-word and a clueless anti-football pussy, and said that Goodell should not have pressured Jeff Fisher to draft queers, a reference to Michael Sam, a gay player chosen by the team in 2014. If you remember, Michael Sam was garbage. Michael Sam didn't deserve any of the attention he got. Michael Sam could not hack it onto the NFL roster, and everybody knew that. But the NFL also wanted to make this push to make headlines like this. That's why he's criticizing that. In numerous emails during a 7-year period ending in early 2018, so before he was hired as the Raiders head coach, Gruden criticized Goodell and the league for trying to reduce concussions and said that Eric Reed, a player who had demonstrated during the playing of the national anthem, should be fired. In several instances, Gruden used a homophobic slur to refer to Goodell and offensive language to describe some NFL owners, coaches, and journalists who cover the league. What is offensive language? Like, I'm asking a real question. Do you mean he called them, like, pussies? Motherfuckers? Like, what did he say, right? What do you determine offensive? I do think it's funny that the only person he called the F slur in this entire thing is Roger Goodell. I can't help but be amused by that, just saying. Gruden, Allen, the NFL, and the Raiders did not immediately respond to comments, to requests for comment. Although not at the team, he was still influential in the league and highly coveted as a coach. The league said last week it shared emails with the Raiders in which Gruden made derogatory comments. Gruden told ESPN on Sunday the league was reviewing emails which he criticized Goodell and said he'd been upset about the team owner's lockout of players in 2011 when some of the emails were written. But Gruden's behavior was not limited. Gruden exchanged emails with Allen and other men that included photos of women wearing only bikini bottoms. I can't imagine a man sharing pictures of hot chicks. Man, that never happens. Including one photo of two Washington team cheerleaders. Now, if Gruden sent that email to Bruce Allen, who was with the Redskins at the time, that'd be interesting. I wonder if Bruce Allen sent that to Jon Gruden. That could be something different. And that's probably more what they were looking for in this investigation. Gruden also criticized President Obama during his re-election, as well as then Vice President Joe Biden, who Gruden called a nervous, clueless pussy. He used similar words to describe Goodell and DeMaurice Smith, the executive director of NFLPA. That's offensive to these people. Saying this in private messages to friends, to acquaintances, calling someone a pussy, that is also included under your offensive language. Just keep that in perspective when talking about all of this other stuff. We talked about the email that he sent when he used a racist trope and criticized DeMaurice Smith's intelligence. How dare someone call someone dumb and call them ugly? How dare someone do that? This is 2021. That's not tolerated anymore. Gruden's emails to Allen, who was fired by the Washington football team, were reviewed as part of an NFL investigation in workplace misconduct. Goodell instructed the league executives to look at more than 650,000 emails, and that's where they found these. In the exchanges, Gruden was using his personal email account while Allen wrote from his team account. In some cases, Allen initiated the conversation and Gruden chimed in, while other cases, they traded vulgar comments several times. They also talked about a bunch of other people that are influential in maybe, I don't know, some guys at Tampa Bay, some guy runs the Outback Bowl. Not a big deal for what we're talking about right now. Gruden and Allen are longtime friends and colleagues. They explain their relationship. Yes, these are friends. They've known each other for like 25, 30 years, something like that, which is why they were talking this way. Taken together, the emails provide an unvarnished look into the clubby culture of one NFL circle of peers where white male decision makers felt comfortable sharing pornographic images, deriding the league's policies, and jocularly sharing homophobic language. I'm going to say something right now. I guarantee you that nearly every single person watching this video right now, if you go in and you look at your last 10 years of private text messages to people, private DMs to people, you've probably said something in there that you wouldn't dare saying in public for a variety of reasons. Maybe because maybe you don't want everybody to know about that thing. Maybe it's just an inside joke for that person. Maybe you are using language that you wouldn't necessarily use in public, right? I guarantee you everybody has something like that in their DMs, in their text messages, in their emails. Now, does that mean that I think that people should be going around using some of the things he said, specifically what he called Roger Goodell, putting that out in public everywhere? It doesn't offend me. I don't give a shit about it. Let's just be very honest. However, no, I understand you're not going to want to do that in the grand scheme of things because you're working with a lot of different people. These are private messages, and quite frankly, I don't give a fuck about any of the stuff that Jon Gruden has said. I really don't. But he's been fired from it. It'd be also one thing if he did it while he was the head coach, but he didn't. He was working at ESPN at the time, literally just chatting with a friend. And now he has been pushed out. He has been fired effectively. He's resigning, but we all know what the case is. We know that that's why it's happened. Privately, Allen and Gruden appear to have few boundaries in expressing homophobic and transphobic language. In one email, Gruden crudely asked Allen to tell Brian Glazer, a family who owns the Tampa Bay Buccaneers where Gruden coached, to perform oral sex on him. Allen said Glazer would take you up on the offer. Why is this even in there? It's a joke. It's saying someone suck my dick? Is that what this is about? That's where it's gotten to? Allen and Gruden also mocked Caitlyn Jenner, as every other normal person has, who received an award from ESPN after she transitioned. In an email from 2015, Allen and Gruden criticized a congressional bill that aimed to force a Washington franchise to change its name, which they ended up doing. Gruden took aim at Goodell and his staff again. What does this say? Droz shared with the group a sexist meme of a female referee. Oh no! Gruden said, "Nice job, Roger." That's your misogynistic comment right there. Wow. Incredible. In the same year, Gruden was sent a link to an article about NFL players calling on Goodell to support their efforts promoting racial equality. Gruden had advice. He needs to hide in his concussion protocol tent. That's the extent. The media is making it out like I just can't believe some of the things that were said in these private messages between friends. Go look at every single one of these motherfuckers' private messages with anybody. I guarantee they got a lot worse shit in there. I can promise you that. Oh, men exchanging pictures of attractive women in their private DMs. That never happens, ever. People using the F slur. Yeah, that's unheard of. Never happens, ever. Listen, I get why some of these things, you wouldn't do some of these things out in public for a reason. But you're going to act differently around your friends. And every single person watching this knows that. The fact that we took these emails, some of which were from 3 years ago, some of which were from 10 years ago, and Jon Gruden has now lost his job, that's crazy to me, to be honest with you. That's absolutely crazy. But it is where it is. We are where we are. And Jon Gruden is gone. I know this might be a controversial video, a controversial take. Quite frankly, I don't give a fuck. Because that's how I feel about it. Let me know about your thoughts in the comments below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.